So the next topic is levels of testing. We have seen what is testing, what are the objectives of testing, who is going to test, and what are the objectives of the tester, and what is the difference between error, bug, fault, and failure. Now we will see what are the levels, different levels of testing. The different levels of testing are, first is unit testing, then integration testing, then system testing, and then acceptance testing. Now you just see here that what we have done actually, we all have learned about the modular approach in the design part, right? We have learned about the modular approach in the design part. What we were doing, we were first dividing the problem into small modules, and those particular modules should be independent and they can work on their own and give their own output. And then we used to integrate these particular modules, and then finally we get the software or the application, right? It can be any number of modules. So here also what we are doing, we are using this particular approach in which we are working in hierarchy. That means first we will do unit testing. Unit testing means we will first test a single unit. It can be a single module, right? First a single module will be tested. Then once, let's say we have 3 modules in this, once all the 3 modules has been tested, they will be tested, sorry. So let's say we have done what? We have 3 modules. We have tested all the 3 modules independently. And then what we are going to do, we are done with the unit testing. So this particular part will be done in the unit testing. That means the detailed module, the detailed designing of the code will be checked and tested for the errors. And we will see whether all the inputs, right inputs, and will give us correct answers, outputs, and wrong output will give us the wrong output, or whatever the error message should be given. So this way we are doing the unit testing. Now at the next level, what will we do? We will integrate these 2 modules and these 2 modules, and finally we will integrate this particular module. So this particular integration, when 2 modules are being joined together, there can be a problem or there can be errors when they are integrated, because the communication or the interface between the 2 modules have been created. So the communication or the traveling of information from one module to another can create a problem. So that particular testing, interface testing, is done in this integration testing. Next is system testing. System testing is when the complete software is prepared with the integration of all the components, that means the hardware and the software and all the drivers. Then the system testing is done as a complete and whole. Then we have acceptance testing. Acceptance testing is related to the point where the end user is going to test for the software, whether the software is acceptable by the user or not, and it is done in 2 phases. It is done, one as alpha testing and one as beta testing. I'll just take up this in the further slides. What is alpha testing and what is beta testing? Okay. Now moving further, I have just told you what is unit testing. Unit testing is at the micro level. That means the basic, the smallest unit of the software will be tested at this point of testing. Tests are done on particular functions or code modules, right? So on all the functions and code modules will be done. I have already told you that modules are to be taken under consideration, independent modules, and they are tested. It requires knowledge of the internal program design, because you are going to have the complete knowledge of the design of the code. That is why who does the testing here? The programmer is the best person who can do the testing in the unit part, right? In the unit. So this is the highlighted. It can be asked in questions also. Example, like who does the testing in unit testing during the unit testing process? So it is the programmer, not this independent software tester. Now, what are the, I have just taken it in the, green format, like what are the objectives of unit testing. Then we say that the function of the program is tested and internal logic is tested. That means the logic of the program. Internal design will be tested. That means all the internal data structure and variables all will be tested. All the test paths and condition coverage will be taken into consideration. That means branch coverage. Branch coverage means, as I have told you, independent paths. Like if you have conditional loop, so conditional in the if then else. If there is a condition this, then there are two conditions, then and else, right? So both the conditions, both the branches should be tested, right? For right out input also and for incorrect input also. So you should give both the values so that you can do the rigorous testing. When this is done after the modules are coded. What is the input for this? Input is internal application design, which has been created by the programmer. There is a master test plan. That means the complete test plan and the unit test plan. We will see in later lecture what is a test plan and how it is created or what are test cases. Then what output we get? We get the unit test report. Now, who does this particular testing? This testing is done by the developer. I have told you. What are the methods we are going to follow? This I'll tell you later, because we are going to see different types of testing techniques, which is white box or black box or gray box. So we will cover it in the later point, right? Because white box testing, I have not told you till now. Tools, which tools are used? Different code analyzers tools, restructure tools, debug tools. There are many tools which are used in unit testing for different platforms, like JUnit is used, PDM is used. So all these are what? These are different tools which are used in unit testing. What is the education needed? The testing methodology should be, you should be aware of, and effective use of tools should be done. Now, next phase of testing is the integration testing. I've already told you how testing is done. Integration testing is done when we combine the parts of an application. When I say parts of the application, I can easily mean to say either the units or I can say the modules, right, which we have studied. So different modules are combined together to form a complete software to determine their functional correctness. So as we have already tested the independent parts, that means the independent modules. Now here what we are going to test, we are going to test the integration of those. That means the interface, the communication between the two does not affect the output of any of the modules. That is what we are going to test. Individual applications will be taken and client server applications on a network. So again, that will depend on what? On the type of software we are developing. Now, again, I have done it in the same scenario. What are the objectives of integration? To technically verify proper interfacing. You should remember this particular term, interfacing, communication, right, between the modules. Interfacing between modules and within subsystems. This is the objective. When it should be done? It should be done only after the modules are unit tested. Once you are done with the unit testing, then you are going to test the integration part. What are the input? The internal and external application design. Master design, master test plan will also always be taken into consideration when you are doing any type of testing, and the integration testing plan. What output you get? You get the test report of integration. Now, who does it? Again, this can be done by the developer, and the software tester can also take up this particular role because by this time the tester is also well aware of the concept behind the code, right? What are the methods we are using? We are doing both the white box testing and the black box testing. I will just give you a small concept of white box and black box. When I say white box, I mean to say I am working on the internal code. While when I say black box, I'm not testing the internal code. I'm not concerned about the internal code. I'm just checking whether I'm getting the right output or not. That means I'm going to do the functional testing, right? So earlier in unit testing, what you had to do, white box testing, because it was completely related to code. But here you can have both white and black. Tools, again, different tools are used: debug, restructure, code analyzer. What education you need? Testing methodology and effective use of tools. Now next comes the system testing. Now system testing, I have told you that what is the objective here? To verify that the system components perform control functions. To perform inter-system test. To demonstrate the system performs both functionally and operationally as specified. So again, this can come and fill in the blanks also. To perform appropriate type of tests related to transaction flow, installation, reliability, and regression. I will tell you in detail what the regression testing is all about, right? We'll learn this. So these are all what? These are basically checking whether the software, whether the system is working properly, functionally, and operationally, proper transaction flow, installation, and it is reliable. Inter-system test is being done, and all these are considered. When it is done after the integration testing. So I have already told you this is in hierarchy, like this is in flow, sequence flow, while first unit testing, then integration, and then system only. Input, what are the input? You need to have detailed requirements here because you are going to check the functionality. So functionality are based on the requirements of the customer. Master test plan you need, and you need the system test plan. What is the output? The output is the system test report. Who does it? Now here the system testing is being done by, I told you in the earlier slide, that development team and the user. Development team means the tester or the developer, and the user is also involved in this particular testing because it is going to test for the whether it is working in the right manner or not. Methods, we are going to work on the configuration management. This we are going to learn in 5th unit, what configuration management is all about. This comes as maintenance. Tools, again, a lot of tools are being used. Automated tools are being used in these days. And what education is needed? Testing methodology is needed with the effective use of tools. Right. Now, lastly, we have acceptance testing. What is this acceptance? As the name suggests, whether it is being accepted by the user, customer or not. So objective is to verify that the system meets the requirement of the user. If the user's requirements are met, then only the user will be satisfied, and this can be tested by the user itself. When it is done after system testing, input, business needs, detailed requirements, master test plan, and user acceptance test plan. You must be seeing here that in input, master test plan is always there, and the type of testing we are doing, that particular test plan is considered. Next is output. The test report will be the output of user acceptance. Who does it? It is done by the end user or the users. Method is black box testing. Why black box? Because we are not worried about the detailed code. The user is not going to check the code. It is only going to check the functionality when I am going to give this input, whether I am getting the right output or not, whether all the functionalities are being included or not, right? Tools, we have compare, keystroke capture, and playback regression testing tools are included. Education, testing methodology, effective use of tools, product knowledge, and business release strategy is there, right? That's all for this particular